Hi, welcome to Green Outlook. I'm your host, Rachel Bruhnke, and on this episode we're going to be bringing you an interview with Blase Bonpane. He is the Green candidate for the 30th Congressional District. He is also Director of the Office of the Americas. Also on this segment we're going to be bringing you the Farmers Market, which is where local farmers bring and sell their produce that they've raised organically and sell it directly to the public. We have a great show planned for you, so please stay tuned.
From the BBC.
Research the news headlines. Hugo Slav Federal Army.
Afghanistan.
National Public Radio for most of Southern California.
Also on the Ventura East. See, we have interesting conversations here. We don't just talk traffic.
You're listening to KCRW at 89.9 FM.
Hi, welcome back to Green Outlook. We have in the studio Blase Bonpane. He is the congressional candidate for the Green Party in the 30th Congressional District. Welcome, Blase.
Thank you, Rachel. It's good to be here.
And first of all, I just want to get a sense of your background. What are some things you've done in the political arena, some interests that you've had?
Surely. I've taught American government for some 20 years. And this is the fourth time I've been a candidate. I've lost three campaigns previously. I ran in the same district in 1970 as a Democrat. It was the 30th district. It had a different shape. And at that time, we were opposing anyone, liberal or otherwise, who hadn't come out against the war in Vietnam. We'd been at war for 5 years, and so by 1970, thought it was time to make that very clear. So this is my fourth campaign. And prior to that, I served as a missionary in Guatemala. I was a married father in Guatemala
for how long
in
was
the
that?
60s. I was a missionary for some 10 years altogether. And then I've returned to the United States, and ultimately we formed the Office of the Americas, which I co-founded with my wife. And we've been running the Office of the Americas for 10 years.
And what does that do?
It's been an effort to find non-military solutions to conflicts in the Americas. So we brought hundreds of people to view the Contra War in Nicaragua, to see what our policy was doing to people there and how 30,000 people died as a result of that policy. We brought people to Guatemala, El Salvador, and actually even to Iraq. Personally, I was in Iraq in January of 1991, just prior to the bombing, looking for non-military solutions to that. I met there with Yasser Arafat. I met with other leaders in the area, trying to see if there was a way that this could be avoided. And from their perspective, they said, yes, it can be avoided. But from the U.S. perspective, there was a desire to start that war.
Sure. Well, it sounds like the Office of the Americas is very necessary.
It has been very exciting, and it's been a wonderful experience for us to see what it has done for American people to come home and to lobby for peace.
Right. Excellent. Great. You mentioned that you had been a candidate as a Democrat previously.
Yes, that's right.
I wanted to ask you about that. As a lifelong Democrat, why did you switch to the Green Party? What's different about the Greens than Democrats?
I saw the Democrats supporting every war, every unnecessary war, all of these conflicts, whether it be Vietnam or Grenada, Panama, the intrusion into Nicaragua, the assistance of the Salvadoran military, the invasion or attack on Libya, the massacre in Iraq, and even now with the campaign going on, Mr. Clinton is supporting Iraq too before the president even started it. And so there is a military culture in the Democratic Party, and my objective is to end the culture of militarism. This culture is killing us. It's creating a toxic spirit in the United States and around the world, and we need a culture of peace and justice to replace the culture of militarism, because the greatest threat to our environment is militarism. Militarism, the cleanup of military production in the United States will require more than $1 trillion to clean up of the nuclear sites, etc.
Right. So we don't have that many funds.
So the Democrats drove me right out of the party by their policies. There's some wonderful Democrats, and I will vote for some of them. But the party, as a party, has been a war party, and for that reason, I cannot run as a Democrat in 1992.
Okay, and so you are a Green. Much of your district, the 30th Congressional District, is Latino.
Yes.
How do you reach out to them? How do you involve them in the political process?
Spanish speaking. Half of our people in the district speak Spanish. 1/3 of our voters are Spanish speaking. And I'm very comfortable in Spanish. Of course, I've lived in Latin America. I consider Spanish one of my main languages. In fact, my opponent, Mr. Becerra, I think would find it difficult to engage in a debate in Spanish with me because I don't know that he is as comfortable in Spanish as I am.
Oh, wow.
So you know, someone may have a Spanish surname, but not be able to handle the language.
So are you going into the community speaking Spanish?
Oh, every day. We have our literature in Spanish. Of course, that's only one of the languages. I think it would be a mistake for us to consider it as a Spanish-speaking district because we have Koreatown, which is so burned out. I have literature in Korean.
Oh, wow.
We were visiting with the Koreans before the uprising in Los Angeles, and that area is part of the district, as well as Echo Park, Silver Lake, Boyle Heights, Eagle Rock, all the way over to East Hollywood. It's really the very center of Los Angeles. It includes much of downtown Los Angeles. We have Filipino languages there. We have the Visayan and the Tagalog. We have Japanese, Chinese. We have the Pacific Island languages. It's a mass of languages, and in a way, I'm sorry I only speak 2 of them. But
yeah, well, in your area, since it is so multi-ethnic and, like you say, multilingual, usually in environmental movements, the majority of the people in the environmental movement are Caucasian.
Yes.
What are you doing? Why do you think that's so, and what can we do as Greens to change that? Involve other ethnicities into what we do.
I think that many of the people in the district who are not Caucasian, and that would be the majority, are very conscious of what the smog is doing to them and to their children. Emphysema is up 800%. There has been a fraudulent selling of the idea, look, you can either have clean air or jobs, that one or the other.
Right.
And this is, of course, absolutely false. Clean air means more jobs. And we can't accept that fraudulent position given by the Bush administration and others that you have to have a dirty environment in order to have a job. The people know that's not necessary. That cleaning up the environment means hundreds of thousands of jobs, and I believe that many of those jobs have to be in the public sector. We do not have the jobs in the private sector to end unemployment. We have a long history of public sector employment. President Roosevelt, back in the 30s, started the Civilian Conservation Corps, which the Greens would be very proud of. People were hired to plant millions and millions of trees throughout the United States and were given a decent salary in the public sector. It helped to end the Great Depression. We need that at this time. We have to bring home the millions, literally, of military people serving overseas and convert from military presence to a peaceful presence, but continue the public sector employment. We also had the WPA, which was not simply building of dams and bridges, which was very important at the time, but WPA also included culture, drama, art, and education. I just spoke to a professor at UCLA who said I was able to become a professor through the WPA, and that has made my life very complete. She was just retiring from UCLA.
Yeah, we were speaking before about the effect of the military-industrial complex in the 30th Congressional District, and you were saying that there is a heavy recruitment in that area of Latinos, of the
young
minority
people,
community.
what we have is a poverty draft. People are told by recruitment, do you want to get an education? And naturally they do. If you want to get an education, join the service, enter the military, and we will give you an education. And they failed to tell them that the moment you don't do what you're told, you will go to prison. And if there's a war and you are asked to kill Latinos in Panama, you will do that or go to Leavenworth prison. They forget that point in the recruitment.
And unfortunately, that's pretty much their only economic opportunity in those areas.
I understand
Okay.
completely why they would go in, because they have status, they have a decent job, and why can't we do the same thing in the civilian sector? Why does it have to be always a military perspective? Poor Mr. Bush only seems to know how to send in the military. It would be very helpful if he knew how to do something more than that.
No other creative solutions.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.